Hi guys, KP this side. Hope all of you are doing good. So we are back with another video. This is vlog number 50. Yes, we have done a half century today, and I just hope I can sustain with this discipline of making videos, and I would definitely need your support. We got to share the videos with as many people as possible. More and more people should know about our channel, that we are producing some authentic and genuine content to help people get matured in not just equity markets, but to have an overall idea on how things are working at global level, how the economics work, and the logical understanding of everything. So I got some work today, and but I didn't want to miss making this video because of the fact that it is vlog number 50, and also the objective of sharing whatever happened in a week with you people. So I thought, okay, I'll make this video in the morning itself, and I did my preparations yesterday itself. I was just waiting for today morning the newspaper so that I shouldn't miss anything. I just went through the newspaper, had my black coffee, and here I am with you people. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Uh, since it's vlog number 50, so there has to be something different. Maybe you will get something extra from my end, which I don't know if you're interested in, but you will be happy at the end of the video with the knowledge that I share with you. First, I'll discuss macroeconomics like always. China, US, India. Not much in respect of China and US in last 1 week, but yes, in respect of India, we have got some good news. Some some buzz was there regarding certain things that I will discuss with you. Number two, I'll discuss with you where indices are placed in respect of India and US. Number three, I will discuss with you analysis on three companies, not recommendations, but a relative analysis on three companies, which is interesting, which is talk of the town right now, that I will discuss with you. Number four, no fresh recommendations, but I will give you a brief up on shares which have not performed till now, and I'll just rediscuss them with you, so that in case if you have still not taken a fresh position in these shares, you can consider buying them. Because the ones which do targets, I keep posting about it, so I also have to talk about shares which haven't performed till now. And then, because this is vlog number 50, I'll share 5 life hacks with you, 5 tips which should be considered as your top-notch ideologies if you want to improve in your life. Okay, so this comes at the end. Okay, starting with China, guys. I read a lot about it in the last 1 week. Things are still looking a little, slow as far as their economic recovery is concerned. I have already shared that in my past videos. If you're watching my video for the first time, it's better that you first see the vlogs which I have posted in last 4 to 5 weeks, because then only we are developing that concept over the period of time. So yes, their economic recovery is slow, the consumption is less, the spendings are less. Only one sector where they have seen a surge in demand is tourism. Chinese love traveling, and that is how they spread coronavirus. So Chinese tourism is almost heading towards pre-COVID levels. That is one good news. So from somewhere the revenue has to come for economy to revive. So that is one good thing. But if you look at real estate, if you look at the manufacturing sectors, if you look at overall consumption, it is on a downside, which I have already discussed in my previous videos. And now they are having high hopes that in July, again, some good stimulus will be introduced. That is the hopes. But I have told you very clearly that China stimulus packages can never be so powerful that it can revive the second largest economy in no time. That is not going to happen. Okay, that's number one. Now, last week I told you there is a trade war going on between US and China, where US has told that artificial intelligence chips will not be exported to US, and will not be exported to China by the US. And companies like Microsoft, Amazon have also agreed to this. requirement of the US government. In return, now China has decided to curb, not completely stop, but curb means reduce, export of two key metals, gallium and germanium. I hope I'm pronouncing them correct. But these two, again, very strategically they have done this. This gallium and germanium, they are basically used to make chips. So since they are not going to send chips to China, now China in return has cut down on the supply of two important minerals, key metals, which are used for manufacturing of chips. So this trade war thing is going on. At the same time, the projection of GDP for China is at 5%. Okay, they keep doing that revisions every now and then, which is obviously better than compared to countries like Taiwan and Japan, which is between 2 to 3%, but it is not as good as countries like Vietnam or for that matter India at this point of time, which is somewhere between the range of 5.56% or maybe more than that. Now their exports in the month of May have fallen by 7.5% and their imports have also fallen by 4.5%. The unemployment rate in China right now is over 20%. Okay, so overall things are not looking very attractive, not looking very good as far as Chinese economy is concerned. And Yellen, the Treasury Secretary from US, she visited China right now, and she has requested that China and US should try to resolve things and come together to build a healthy economy. Any trade war is not encouraged. But I don't know, these people don't walk the talk, because on one hand, Biden and Xi Jinping, they will agree on things, but then again, they will start doing some kind of a trade war or some restrictions are being imposed on exports to the other nation. I don't know. So overall, things are looking a little hazy at this point of time. The economy does not seem to be recovering. Like I told you, only tourism is one sector where some revival is seen as far as revenues from tourism are concerned. Okay, that's for China right now, guys. US, again it happened like I told you last week. Dow Jones has to sustain above 34,300 level. But what happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I think Monday was a holiday in US markets if I am correct. But Tuesday, Wednesday markets were looking good. Thursday, drastic fall happened in US markets. Friday markets were looking okayish. But then again towards the end, Dow Jones has closed down below 33,800 levels. Why am I telling this to you? Is because there was a news out on Friday, based on which the market went down. Now, number one, what happened is the labor market, the payroll for June increased by 209,000 for the month of June, which is lowest since 2020. Okay, and less than anticipated. So since 2020, every month there is an increase in payroll, but for the month of June, the payroll has gone down. And it was anticipated that for June month, it will be somewhere close to 225,000 increase in payroll, number of people getting jobs. Which means, now that poses a fear. If the number of jobs created in the economy is less than what you anticipated, that puts you under a threat of recession coming into the economy. Please understand what I'm saying. This is a little technical. If jobs are being created at a pace lesser than what you anticipated, that means a kind of slowdown is coming in the economy, which may lead to recession. Why suddenly recession? Because of the fact that interest rates are being increased rampantly in the US economy. So maybe, are we heading into recession? Number one. So when you keep increasing the interest rates, what else do you expect will happen? A slowdown has to come in the economy. See, I told you, there is always a trade-off between recession and inflation. If you want your inflation to cool off, a little slowdown in the economy will come, which will only take a drastic impact only when interest rates are increased at a very faster pace or for a very longer time. So they were anticipating that jobs creation will be to the extent of 2,25,000 in the month of June, but it only went up to 2,09,000 jobs being created, which till from 2020 till date has been the lowest. But then a lot of experts have commented on this, and they said it does not make such a big difference. Anticipating 2,25,000 jobs and actual jobs being created is 2,09,000. That does not make a big difference. That's okay. It does not mean that economy is heading into recession. Okay. Number two, the hourly wage rate, if we compare, has gone up by 4.4% on year-to-year basis. So hourly wage rates obviously will go up when you have less people on the payroll. So which means now the employees who are being hired, they are in great demand, and because of that the wages are going up. If wages are going up, that again poses a risk on the US government, because wages going up will again, like I always tell you, will again increase your spending capacity, will increase your consumption, and which will again lead to prices going up, which eventually means inflation in the economy. So this data, the moment this data was published on Friday, it gave a signal to the US investors that yes, now US Fed Reserve is not going to shy off in increasing interest rates hikes, which we were talking about in the last video also. You remember that? So if wages are still going up, it means in the industry there is good demand for labor. And if there is a demand for labor, it means the production is still going on. Which means to control inflation, the fact that we were discussing for last couple of weeks that 2 more rate hikes are expected. Now the anticipation of a July interest rate hike has gone up to 92%. That is a 0.25% rate hike will happen. 92% have voted in favor of it, that yes, rate hike will happen. Because wages are still going up, which means the consumption is still high, which means the demand is still high, which means the inflation is still not looking under control. You understood what I said? So maybe if payroll would have been on a lower side and if wages would have gone down, then Federal Reserve would have been happier. That okay, some less jobs being created and wages also cut down. But now, so if jobs being created are less, wages are cut down, inflation under control, slowdown in the economy. Okay, let's not increase rates further. We might head into recession, because if recession happens, many more jobs will go. Slowdown in the economy will come. Even government revenue will get impacted. The deficit will happen. Trade deficit will happen. So we don't want that kind of a situation. But here something contrasting has happened. Number of jobs being created has slightly been less than what was anticipated. But at the same time, the wages have gone up, which means inflation still needs to be controlled. Which means the 2 rate hikes of 0.25%, which Fed Reserve was talking about, which Powell was talking about, now seems to be coming into action. So now 92% have voted that in July, they anticipate a rate hike will come. And that is the reason why markets reacted and it went down. I have told you this earlier also. We don't know, because of this sheer stupidity of 2 rate hikes of 0.25%, how long the US markets are going to drag down. And you know what? There is a bigger concern over here. The point is, if you look at Indian equity markets, overall, okay, I will say there are a couple of sectors which have lagged behind in the rally, like metal and IT. But overall, if you see, the overall sectors have performed in this rally. Overall sectors. So the upside which has happened in Indian equity markets looks more balanced, which is always healthy. But if you look at the US equity markets, the Nasdaq is skyrocketing like anything. The sector which has given the least, convincing guidance for upcoming quarters, that sector is rallying like anything. But Dow Jones is still hovering in that range of 33,800, 34,200, 33,800, 34,200. This is not good. This is not healthy for an economy. And I don't understand how immature these investors in US are, because their market size is so big. I discussed that, right, with you. I don't understand. The same news every week. How can that have such a big impact in markets? I don't understand that. Is it somebody doing a foul play? Is it some kind of insider trading? We don't understand. But definitely their regulations are not up to the mark to control this, because this is sheer stupidity. The same news every week, a new poll is being done just to figure out What percentage people think that US Federal Reserve will increase interest rates? Arey ho gaya yaar. We have understood you will increase interest rates again. We understood that. Now what? Now what is it that same news every day you listen to and you still react to the same news? Does it happen like that? In real life, you forget about equity markets. Normal life में होता है क्या ऐसा? आप खुद सोच के देखो, नॉर्मल लाइफ में द सेम न्यूज, इफ आई कीप गिविंग यू द सेम न्यूज एवरी डे, वुड यू रिएक्ट द सेम वे, द वे you reacted the first time? But this is really, and I am very sure on this, I am not missing a point here. I am not missing some news because I am following the news on a daily basis. There's nothing new that has happened suddenly on Friday that markets had to close below 33,800 for Dow Jones. Understood? So this is really ridiculous. So maybe what I feel is, because the markets are being so reactive to this particular thing, so actually when this happens, I think markets will not react at all, because then you will say, oh, this was already factored in. But till the time this happens somewhere in the mid of July, this drama will continue, I think. Okay, so how indices are to be played, that I will discuss a little later. But now coming back to India, where we have news, a lot of news to be shared with you. Okay, like I always tell you, you want to participate in the market when market is going up. You want to be out of the market when markets are going down, which is actually ulta of what investors and traders should do. When markets are going down is the time for you to buy good quality stocks at good discounts. And when markets are doing a rally, which I told you in my last video also, that you should take a breather, you should wait for a little while, and you should let markets cool off a little bit, which actually happened only on Friday, right? But otherwise markets were looking very strong as far as Indian indices were concerned. But if I give you some statistics, margin funding was highest in the first week of July. I mean, the month of June we are talking about, but this news relates to first week of July. The margin funding was highest at 30,760 crores. That is, margin funds to the extent of 30,760 crores were used when markets were hitting all-time high. What is margin funding? You pay 25% of the value of the shares, and 75% you can take as a leverage. How do you get this leverage? By pledging your shares. Your existing holding can be pledged to take leverage benefits from your broker. This went up to almost 31,000 crores during the last few weeks. Understood? So is this good? Basically, I don't think so, because what happens is, when markets are getting frenzy, you also get euphoric and you want to participate in that market rally. So we say, no, we should not try to catch hold of a falling knife. That is what people say when markets are going down. At the same time, you shouldn't try to catch hold of a flying parachute, because falling knife will injure you less. But a flying parachute, an open parachute, which is already going up in the sky, you try to just grab it, somewhere you will not be able to continue having the same level of strength, and then you fall from the sky. So I personally would still say, stay cautious. Don't use leverage. I tell you, if you can take 5 positions, cut down to 3. आप जितना positions ले सकते हैं, उसमें भी 60% ही करिए काम. Let's wait na yaar. We will sit on the fence, wait for the right time. Markets will again give you opportunity. Do not take leverage and take extra trades. नहीं, हम लोग को last का जो the risk reward from here is not favorable, guys, to be very honest with you. आप delivery based काम करिए. आप 100 rupees दीजिए, 100 rupees का delivery उठाइए, that is okay. You pay 100 and you take trades of 400 is not something I advise at this point of time when markets are at all-time high. Is this the new high for the markets? Can it not go above this levels? I never said that. So I am saying, if you want to participate in the market, I give you a list of shares. I'll again share that list with you. You please do delivery based trading, so that even if the share market goes down from here, at least you can own those shares for which you have paid. But why take कर्जे पे पैसा लेके अभी क्यों काम करना है when markets are at all-time high? We don't want to get stuck in this market by taking leverage, because the money you take on leverage, someday you have to pay back, right? Either you pay back or you sell your shares at a loss and make good the dues, right? So don't do that. Good news for India is Yuan, Chinese Yuan, has depreciated against Rupee by almost 6%. But how is this good news? Chinese currency is yuan. Yuan is weak against rupee by 6% right now, which makes it good for us because we import a lot from China. So these imports which we do from China, we pay for them in yuan. So if yuan becomes weak against rupee, your cost of imports will go down. If your cost of imports will go down, then your finished products cost will come down. And if your finished product cost will come down, your selling price will also be changed accordingly, which means this is actually good because this will help you reduce your inflation. Because जब सामान का, जब commodity का दाम ज़्यादा होता है, that is when you have inflation, right? So if Chinese yuan weakens against rupee, and because we are paying in yuan, so we will have to pay less for the imports. If we pay less for the imports, my finished product will also be cheaper for me. I can sell at a little less price. This will help us cut down on inflation. But at the same time, because Chinese economy is suffering right now from a slowdown, so China is importing less from India, because of which a trade deficit has been created. The trade deficit was always there for India. What is trade deficit? Trade deficit is basically the difference between imports and exports you do from one country. So India was always a major importer from China. But right now what has happened is this gap has widened. Earlier it was in the year 2022, I think it was around 73 billions. But now this gap has become $83 billion. Okay, so from 73 billion, this has gone up to 83 billion. We don't encourage trade deficits. We don't like that. We just to have that balance in the economy, you always want your exports to be more compared to your imports. But as far as a country like China is concerned, you understand this, that even if you have this, make in India is being encouraged a lot, but still there are a lot of imports being done from China, and we are heavily dependent on that, and our government acknowledges that. Okay, that is why strategically it is always better to maintain good relations with China. Okay, so overall business confidence, there is an index used for that. So overall business confidence seems to be at 6 months high. There has been an uptick in the manufacturing activity in India. Increase in new orders is highest since February 2021. Now, increase in new orders is higher because export restrictions were earlier imposed by government to control inflation, but that there has been ease of exports now, because of which overall things are looking good. The manufacturing activity has gone up, new orders have gone up, and business confidence is at 6 months high. Okay, so this looks good for the Indian industry. Amazon Global is one platform where Indian exporters can go and sell their products to different countries, US, UK, Germany, all these countries, they can sell their products. So Amazon Global is one platform where you can list your product. Millions have listed their products over there, and you can list your products, and from there you can sell it. You can export them. In 2023, we registered $8 billion of sales in this exports. $8 billion. Okay, if you see, this is being anticipated to go up to $20 billion by 2025. So one new segment from where the sale of products outside of India will be done is this. And like I told you, we always want to see whether we are in a trade deficit or not. And this kind of exports will also, fill in that gap where we will become good exporters. So this is a good news for India. Another good news is that India is now paying for Russian oil imports in yuan, which this is interconnected with the other point which I told you. Yuan is weakening against rupee, and there are some dealers who want us to pay for the oil imports either in dirhams or in yuan. They don't want us to pay in dollars. Why they don't want us to pay in dollars is because G7 has restricted on the price that you can pay for per barrel of oil, which is capped at $60. So if there are some dealers who want to sell at a price higher than $60 and still not get caught by the regulators, then they will ask you to pay in some other currency. You got my point, what I said? So just to, divert from the law, breach the law and still not get caught, they are asking Indians to pay in dirhams or in yuan. So India obviously right now will prefer to pay in yuan because Chinese yuan is weaker against rupee. So, but at the same time, we don't mind paying a little extra for that oil, because I told you earlier also, compared to what we used to pay to US and Iraq, we are still paying less when we buy from Russia. But at the same time, this will help strengthening rupee against dollar, which is also very important for us. So if we can pay for crude oil in yuan or dirhams, then in that case, we will require less dollars, which is actually good. Now the question which you might have here is, why can't we pay in rupee? Actually, we were paying in rupee to a lot of dealers in Russia, but now they are saying that they have got a lot of liquid rupee in hand and they don't know what to do with it, because acceptability of rupee is still not that high when you go to other countries. So Russia for the time being has stopped taking rupee payments, and they are encouraging whether Indians either to pay in dirhams or in yuan. You got my point? Okay. Foreign portfolio investors, FPI, like you call them, have put 18,700 crores in financial services, that is banking sector, and 6,100 crores in auto sector during this year. Okay, January to June. So still, if you see last 6 months, the foreign portfolio investors have put most of their money in Bank Nifty. That is why the banking stocks have surged like anything. The Bank Nifty is trading or almost at a new, it's making a new high on a daily basis. And that is why for the last couple of weeks, I have told you from here on, I will bet less on Bank Nifty, more on Nifty. I have told this many a times to you. And they have put 6,100 crores in auto sector also. That is why most of the stocks in auto sector, Maruti, Tata Motor, Hero Motor, Bajaj Auto, all these stocks are almost trading at their 52-week high. Force Motor, Escorts, okay. And surprisingly, in last 6 months also, even when IT sector was beaten down, 3,577 crore have been taken out of IT sector. 3,577 crores have been taken out of IT sector in last 6 months. Am I happy about that news? I'm very happy. If you see last 3 to 4 months, almost all the stocks in IT sector that I have recommended have done their targets. And this is when the money has been taken out of the sector. You just imagine when a sectoral rotation will happen and when they will start putting their money in IT, where are these levels going to be from here on? Which stock in IT has not performed apart from Infosys, the ones which I recommended you, LTIM, LTTS, Persistent, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, which stock has not performed? There are a couple of stocks, primarily the large caps, Infosys, TCS, these have not performed well other than that. And I'm telling you, this is the time when you got to buy shares like Infosys and TCS. Sit on them, buy right, sit tight, buy them and sit. Remember my video number 50. Infosys at around 1320-25 levels. TCS are at around 3350 levels. There cannot be a better day for buying these stocks. There cannot be a better day. This is the time. I'm telling you, what is not preferred by market, you should buy them. You should take contrarian bet. Don't go with the crowd. Buy these stocks. They will pay you good. Because abhi tak to sab kharab news aaya hai IT ka. And we are waiting for the day when good news will come for IT. And the day it happens, it will skyrocket. Next thing, big thing is Reliance is to demerge its Jio Financial Services on 20th July, which has been kept as a record date. One share held in Reliance, you will get one share of the Jio Financial Services. Understood? So this is going to happen on 20th of July. The demerger will happen on 20th of July. And Reliance retail shares, which are unlisted shares, there is a setback for them because these are unlisted shares, private shares, where the company has decided that it will keep, the promoters will only keep the shares in their hands and they will buy back all the other shares at a value of around 1362. But in the unlisted markets, the private markets, these shares were trading at around 2500, 2600 range. So this is a big setback for holders of the shareholders of Reliance Retail. They are very unhappy. The social media has been bombarded with a lot of negative comments, and people are showing their anger and disappointment about the shares being bought back at just 1362 a piece as compared to 2500, 2600, which was the private market price for this share. So obviously that is why this is the reason why finding the transparent or fair price in unlisted shares is very difficult. That is why I personally abstain from them. I personally don't invest in them. The same happened with Paytm. The share was trading around 22,000 in the unlisted category. Then they reduced the face value to 1. Then the share became 2200. That is the price at which the IPO was introduced, and then rest is the history. We all know that. Apart from that, a lot is happening in the bike segment. Harley Davidson has launched its cheapest bike, and Hero Motor will be manufacturing it. Bajaj Auto will be launching the cheapest Triumph in India. So if you're a bike lover, you would understand all this. Harley and Triumph were almost for somebody who is reasonable with the investments will not probably buy these two bikes, because they will be in the range of 8 lakhs 9 lakhs as their starting prices, the Harley and the Triumph. And that is the reason why we had a big market for bikes of Royal Enfield, which were somewhere in the range of a good bike I'm talking about, 650cc, will be in the range of 3 to 4 lakhs. So you still had preferences for 3 to 4 lakhs of Royal Enfield, the ones which they launched recently, GT 650 or the Meteor 650. These bikes in the range of 3 to 4 lakhs always had a greater audience compared to Triumph and Harley Davidson's in the price range of 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, and going up to 20, 25 lakhs. But now Harley Davidson has launched its cheapest bike. The manufacturing will be done by Hero Motors in India, and Triumph has also launched its bike in the range of 2.25 to 2.5 lakhs. This will be manufactured by Bajaj. With this news coming out last week, Bajaj Auto has done its 52-week high. Hero Motor has done its 52-week high. 20% correction happened in almost a 20% correction happened in Eicher Motor, with Eicher Motor losing almost 5,000 crores of its market capitalization. 5,000 crores. Understood? So if I compare these three stocks, guys, Eicher, Bajaj, and Hero, let us just do a small check on these three stocks. If I look at Eicher, it is trading now at 3184. The 52-week high for the stock is somewhere around 3740, 3750. A very quick correction of around 15 to 17% has happened in the stock in last week or so, since this news has come. Its face value is 1. PE ratio is at 30 times. Price to book value is also at 7 times. EPS is 106. With public, only 11% of the stocks are available. 49% is held by promoters, 28.6% is held by FII, and DII is holding 11.29%. Similarly, if I look at Bajaj Auto, it is trading at 4834. The closing on Friday was 4834, which is very close to its 52-week high. Around 22% is held by promoters in this case. DII is holding 10%, FII 12%, promoters are holding 55%. The EPS is around 214 rupees for Bajaj Auto. Understood? And Hero Motors is trading around 3,148. EPS of 140. Again in Hero Motor, only 10% shares are being held by public. Promoter is holding close to 35%. FII and DII are both holding close to 27 to 28%. If you ask me, all three stocks are looking good. My suggestion to you is, if you want to add any of these stocks, I personally feel Eicher Motor has corrected around 15 to 20%. It creates an opportunity for you. Definitely some market share it may lose in the process because of these bikes like Triumph and Harley Davidson's being introduced at a very cheaper price. But I still feel Eicher has a niche market segment, and people who want Royal Enfield, they want Royal Enfield. It's not that people were buying Royal Enfield for all this while because they could not afford Harley Davidson. It's not that it's not such a plain vanilla situation. So there is a niche market, there is a fan following for this segment, and I personally have this feeling that obviously if you had something at 10 lakhs and now suddenly just because an Indian manufacturer starts manufacturing the bikes, obviously with 2.5 lakhs price, you won't be able to give the kind of features you were giving me in 10 lakhs bike. Please understand that. So overreaction is probably what I feel has happened in Eicher Motor. I personally feel Eicher Motor is a good buy. Start accumulating it in small quantities because it's an expensive share. Expensive as in the value of the share is a little high. So 3184 is where you should buy Eicher Motor, and you can hold it for 3450, 3500 levels. Okay, so clear cut 10% upside is what I see in the stock. So 3184, buy the stock, hold it up till 3300, 3400, 3450, and up till 3500 also you can keep this stock. Okay, second I feel is Bajaj Auto, even at 52-week high, looks very cheap to me. So my suggestion is, if you want to do SIP kind of a thing, like add one stock, one scrip every month, or 5 quantities or 10 quantities, whatever you are comfortable with, I still feel Bajaj Auto is very, very sasta. Okay, even if it's at its 52-week high. There are a lot of things I have written actually. I didn't share all of them with you. Okay, so this is the data which I have written. But without going into much details of all this, it will be a little boring for you. But if I compare the face values equivalent of 10 rupees, Bajaj Auto is still very, very cheap stock. In SIP mode, you can continue buying this stock, because definitely with Triumph 2 models being introduced, this company will do good. They will get more market share for sure. How are indices placed, guys, right now? In India, Nifty at 19,332, Bank Nifty at 41,925. Friday markets have corrected a bit, but I don't think there is anything to worry about as far as Indian markets are concerned. Till the time, Nifty is above the last high which we have broken, that becomes the new support for the market, which was close to 18,887 or something. Till that time we are above that range, we are okay with the overall market sentiments. Even that requires another 400 points fall in the market. Since the markets are volatile right now, 400-point fall is not something impossible. That can happen, but till the time we are above the previous all-time high that we had, which was 18,900, we are okay. The sentiments are still very positive as far as the Indian markets are concerned. I had to give you one suggestion: do not over leverage. Buy more of the shares in. If you still want to do buying, do it more in delivery based rather than taking leverage to play FNO segment. Okay, Nasdaq is looking okay. Like I told you, it's way ahead of its major support, which I see is at 12,800. And till that time sentiments are positive. Dow Jones is close to 33,800, which again puts me back to levels where I don't want to guess whether it will go up or down. But I don't personally see any reasons for Dow Jones to go down, so I'm still very, very bullish on it. But yes, my convincing buy for Dow Jones will happen only when it is able to sustain above 34,300 levels for a couple of sessions. So I still maintain that. Okay, the stocks which have still not performed but are very much favorites for me: Happiest Mind. I still remember I gave you a target of around 1,050-60. You can continue holding it. If you don't have them, you can buy also these stocks. The fresh buying can also be done. Hinduja Global, I'm still very bullish. Rajesh Exports, like I told you, is a stock which plays dead on most of the days, but it will again catch the fire. I'm very confident about it. So Rajesh Exports is another good buy. Heck, I told you to re-enter the stock with a target of 1,700. It tries showing the momentum up till 1,640, 1,650, but it fizzes out over there. But I still suggest that you continue holding it. Page Industries is another stock which I told you to buy for a target of 42,000. Still a good buy at 37,000 right now. You can definitely consider buying this stock. Apart from that, Varun Beverages was my recommendation in last video. I'm very, very confident this stock will do the target in maybe a week or so. And apart from that, Adani Transmission was another stock. If you already had at a price range of 1830, 1840, I told you to average on this stock in my last video. Okay, now I told you I'll share 5 principles with you which you should make an ideology in your life if you want to improve in your life. This is what I try to follow in my life. Maybe I'm not able to do it completely, but partially I try to do it. And you should also try to incorporate this in your life. This will be useful for you guys. The first point is you should keep learning. Keep learning, keep growing. This is what I always say. You know, the water stays fresh till it's moving, till it's flowing. Once the water stagnates, it becomes stale. It can even spread diseases. So we don't like still water. We want the water to flow. Same ways, the same principle applies to us. We should keep learning every day. Spend some time to learn something new. uh, be very specific on how you want to learn, by watching some news channel, or by reading some particular newspaper, or reading some books, the proven ones, the good books, understood, or by watching some vlogs for anybody, the person you like listening to, any influencer you like listening to. I'm not talking about listening to motivational videos. I'm not talking about listening to stand-up comedy. I'm talking about learning something new every day. At least something new you should try to learn every day, and then try to implement it in your life. That's how you grow in life, guys. There is no point at which you feel, okay, I'm saturated now with the knowledge, I have it all in me. No, we can never have. Till your last breath, you got to learn. That is how you grow in life. Point number 2, very important: prioritize your health over and above everything else. Make your health the topmost priority. You are very busy, I know that. You are earning a lot of money, I understand that. Your work pressure is horrendous, I understand that. You have got a lot of personal commitments, social commitments, family commitments, I understand that. You got 23 hours for doing that. Can you spare 1 hour for exercise? Do that. Go to the gym, work out, pick up some iron, and do some disciplined training. Don't go to the gym and do cardio. Don't do that. Do 3 days of hardcore exercise. It will help you get better at your brains. It will give you a good body. It will make you feel fresh on a daily basis. It will give you some designated targets in life. Got to do that. It will help you become headstrong. The pain which you get while you work out makes you stronger person. You get clarity in your thoughts. Your brains are fresh. They are better functioning. So please, for rest of the days, that is the remaining 4 days, give Sunday a complete off. Monday to Saturday, at least 3 days, go to the gym. Just 40 minutes of workout. Very important for you. Apart from that, on the remaining days, you can do some type of cardio. Maybe you can walk for a couple of kilometers, 2 to 3 kilometers. Walking will hardly take you any time. Or you can go swimming, you can go dancing, whatever activity you like, but involve in activity, some kind of activity. So don't give me this shit, you are very busy. We all are busy. With all due respect to that, at least spare an hour for your body, because your body is a machine. Let not your machine break down. So better make it efficient by functioning it, by utilizing it, by putting it to some kind of activity for its rejuvenation. And the machinery requires oil or some kind of lubricant for its proper functioning. That oil or lubricant is your diet. So it's not, don't live to eat, eat to live. Understood? So whatever you put in your body, that decides how your internal organs are going to function, how healthy your diet is. That decides your overall health. So when you are having food, avoid fried food. Pasta, pizza, burger on a daily basis is poison. I'm not saying that you don't eat it at all. If you can do that, it's very good. But pizzas, pastas, burgers, fried food, French fries, potato wedges, please try avoid these kind of foods. Mayonnaise sauces, or any kind of other tandoor mayo, all these sauces, please avoid them, guys. Please avoid them. Eat healthy food, clean food, natural food. मैदा खाना छोड़ दीजिए. The white flour, stop eating it. The momos, the wraps made of this white atta, the white flour, stop that. Less oily food. You start putting some control on your tongue. Whenever you feel hungry, go for clean food. Eat veggies, eat salads, eat fruits, and eat ghar ka bana hua roti, chawal, dal, sabji. That's it. Eat more of curd, more of milk. Form these habits, guys. This is important. Okay, I'm not just giving you gyan. I'm doing it for last 10 years, so I'm sharing all this with you. I do have some bad habits for sure, but still I try to maintain discipline to the extent possible. When I work out with these things in mind. not to make a body and go compete. No, but it gives you a lot of confidence. Once you just wear a 500 rupees t-shirt and it fits you good, you don't have those extra flabs of chubby, that fat layers. You start feeling good, and when you start feeling good, you start showing a lot of confidence in the way you talk, in the way you walk, in the way you sit, in the way you eat. That is required, guys. That's especially when you're going to head into a corporate world, it's very important. Okay, next, point number 3 is you are an average of the 5 people you are surrounded with. A man is known by the company he keeps. Try to have company of people who have some definitive objectives in life, who are serious about their career, who are serious about their goals, who want to make the most out of every second. You can have friends who are not very serious in life, but then you got to have the people who you spend time with, some serious people, some people who have achieved something good in their life. If you are surrounded by five people who have achieved a lot in life, you will also achieve a lot in life. That I have practically experienced in my life. So have a company of people who can always try to have people who are better than you. Don't be jealous of them. Your competition is with no one. But if you're surrounded by people who are better than you, you will become a better version of yourself. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Be satisfied in life. Point number 4. Be satisfied in life. Be happy with what God has given you. Have that thanksgiving attitude. But don't be overly content in life. Don't use self-content as an excuse for being lazy. Even if you are satisfied, you still got to do your work, because work is, you got to worship your work. Today I am satisfied. I've got all the luxuries that I need in my life. I've got all the basics which I need in my life. So what? Should I stop working? Should I stop making these videos? Should I stop serving my clients? No. We should be satisfied. We should be thankful to God for whatever God has given us, for whatever God has helped us achieve in life. But at the same time, we should not be content. You should not use being self-content as an excuse for being lazy, for not trying hard. Try hard enough, guys. Keep going all guns blazing all the time, because there are no shortcuts. You got to work very hard. Slog every day. Because what you're doing, you should be passionate about it. And when you're passionate about doing something, you don't see your, watch before doing it. I can spend 16 to 17 hours daily doing teaching or EQPD stock market courses, the stock market discussions, the stock market services. I can do it for 18 hours a day and still be very happy. I don't see my clock. I don't see the wall clock. I don't see my wristwatch before I start my day. Today I knew I had to go out, so I got up early in the morning, read the newspaper, had my coffee, and started making a video, because I'm passionate about sharing knowledge. So only I have been doing it for last 12 years. Think about it. Point number 5, the last point, noise cancellation. Noise cancellation is very important, because in today's generation, anybody and everybody has got the power. When I started my career, I had to go and fold my hands, even after being a chartered accountant, a company secretary, a CFA, a graduate from St. Xavier's College, the second best college in India. Even after that, I had to go and fold my hand to people. Even after having a job in PwC, I had to go and fold my hand to people. Please give me one opportunity of teaching. I needed the audience to teach. Today, this social media has made you so powerful that you don't need to fold hands to anybody. People can just come and speak. Some are speaking good, most are speaking shit. So there was a time when lack of knowledge, lack of information was a problem. Today, abundance of information is a problem. Too much of information. So you got to learn, you got to get better at this strategy, technique of noise cancellation. You should know what information I have to take, what information I have to ignore. Because if you keep buying shit from these people who are misguiding you, misleading you, because most of them are doing that. I'm not saying this because I'm jealous of somebody. Come on. I'm much more than that. I'm not jealous of anybody. But when I listen to these people, I literally catch hold of my head and I'm just worried. What are these people doing to this generation? I'm seriously concerned about that. So you got to learn this. You got to develop this trait in you where you know, where you learn this, you get this power in your system to listen to a person and immediately say, this man is speaking shit. This influencer is trying to dice me or convince me on a product which is actually not worth it. Or he's trying to sell stories, or he's trying to make me believe in things which are unrealistic. You got to learn that over a period of time. आपको judgmental नहीं होना है. You are not supposed to judge people, but you are supposed to read into the mind of the people, the way they talk, what they are talking, what they are selling. You got to learn that art of what is to be accepted, what is not to be accepted. Anything and everything that makes you feel that there are easy earnings or there are easy promotions in the organization, there are easy ways of passing exam, avoid that news, because there is nothing that comes easy in life. Saying that based on 36 years of my experience. Believe me on that. There is nothing that comes easy your way, because anything that is easy will not be worth doing it. It will not be rewarding enough. Take these 5 points seriously. I can share 500 points with you, but I think in 50th video, 50th vlog that we are doing, 5 points are enough for you. But guys, whatever I told you, I genuinely mean it. I want good for all of you, but it's very, very important in this era when we are surrounded by influencers all across. Got to understand one thing at the end of the day: they want to get popular and get sponsorships and promote products which they hardly use. So you got to understand what is the ultimate objective. Think about it. Chalo, I hope the video was useful. If you like it, please leave a thumbs up, and also please share it with as many people as possible. We got to reach out to more people, guys. I am still waiting for the day when we have at least 10,000 followers on YouTube. Even with such a solidified content, with such quality content, I get so many messages that say your content is so good, but why don't you have followers? I seriously have no idea about it. Maybe we are inconsistent, that is one thing, and the second thing maybe that we are not paying for digital marketing, which I don't want to do. It's against my principles. If I have to grow, I have got whatever growth I got in teaching is because of mouth publicity. Whatever growth I got in equity markets is because of mouth publicity. So even if in digital world, if I have to get the much deserved popularity, it has to be mouth publicity. I am not going to pay even a single penny for advertisement. That is my principle. That's how I function. Chalo, bye bye. God bless all of you. Stay bullish. Stay invested in markets. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.